company. I started it coming up 4 years ago now, after 25 years in manufacturing, management roles and stuff like that, sales and marketing roles. So I'm an electrical electronics engineer by degree, and have an MBA in business as well. So all of those things together, and a love for IT and computers and making computers do what they're supposed to do, I guess, which some would say is a bit sad. But so Google Data Solutions, our tagline is secure, aligned, insightful, and I'll step through each of those to explain what we do and why I started the business and all that sort of stuff. So customers, generally my customers are not home users, not single computer and stuff like that. It's normally between minimum five computers, up to around 30 computers, okay? So generally that means that you might have a server, or you might have, the computers are critical to the business, so that means there's at least one or two of those computers that if it stops working, you stop revenue coming in. So it's got to be at that level of importance to sort of bring me in. So I'm what they call in the industry a managed service provider. And Steve and I were talking about services there before, but so a managed service provider means that you pay me a set amount per server or per computer, depending on what you want, depending on how critical the computer is or the server is, per month, and I take away hopefully all your worries associated with that. So that might mean things like, probably one of the most stress relieving things that I do for businesses is manage their passwords. So their admin passwords, the main passwords, all of those things that when you come to change something, you come to change your phone line, Telstra stops you because you don't know how to get into your account anymore, you've forgotten your password, you can't recover, it's an old email address, all that sort of stuff. So if you're a new customer, and the first thing I do is we go out and install maybe some software on one of your computers. It checks out everything that's connected to your network and comes back and says there's 10 computers. They have these specifications, this one's old, this one's running this one's got 10 pieces of software on, this one's got 100 pieces of software on, and all that sort of thing. Gathers all of that together, which gives us a picture of what we've got and how hard it's going to be to manage and how hard it is, or easy or difficult it is to bring it into shape, to massage it into shape. So that's the first thing. And next thing is securing it. So especially if you're going to move to the cloud. So whereas before, if you were sort of had 4 or 5 computers, you might have sent the occasional email, but that's pretty much all you did, and you had your own server internally or something like that. It's not all that bad, not all that hard to secure it. And you'll find most of the people, most of the computers in the business, if they have a password, it's probably password or pass01 or something like that. So fairly weak password and security type policies. So the first thing we do is, if you're going to move to the cloud or going to get, and that's the reason you've probably called me in, is because you want more mobility, you want to be able to get at your data and your files while you're away from the office. You want your emails to come through more reliably. Yeah. You want to, when you send your invoices out, you don't want them to land in people's junk mail boxes. All those sorts of things. You want backups. You want to check that the stuff's backed up. You've heard about this thing called ransomware, which I'll talk on in a minute. And you want to make sure you're as protected as you can be around that. So, first thing we do, inventory. Next thing, passwords and policies and a bit of security around that. So get the passwords at least up to, a minimum sort of standard that most things will accept. 8 characters, 3 different character types, so caps lock, lowercase, a number or a special character. Yeah. Make sure that and also it's a little bit of training too. It's just talking to people about and talking to your staff about, don't share passwords among users. That's probably not as critical as don't share passwords or reuse passwords between home, between Facebook, between bank accounts and between work. Yeah, so sort of try and classify things a little bit, and it's really quite hard to remember all these passwords, but try and classify them like, this is the bank password, people can get money if they get this, they can get it things, or this is...
Are you sort of saying you can have 4 passwords, one for social media, one for banking, one for work, and one for whatever the other thing you said was?
That would be probably minimum best practice, yeah, that I would say, because I know that a lot of people have 2 passwords, basically, probably one for your banking and one for everything else. The trouble with this is that once they get into one system, now this is so your passwords are gold and your personal information are gold, data is gold. So we'll get into that in a second. People steal personal information. Now it's not going to be from a single user, maybe it is, maybe you get hacked. Most of the time that will be ransomware, which I'll explain in a minute. But for a business, especially medical practices, accounting practices, there's a couple of key pieces of information that are covered by what's called the Australian Privacy Principles. One of them is tax file numbers, the other one's Medicare number, tax file number. Those key pieces of identifiable information, if you hold them in your business and you store them and you keep them, credit card numbers, you have an obligation. Actually, I think it stands to being a legal obligation, and Kevin will probably know more, but to protect that, to take all reasonable actions to protect that information. So that means having your systems set up properly and having good security practice so that somebody can't break in easily and steal that information. So anyway, back to the original story of getting a customer set up, get the passwords working right. Best tip for that, a password manager. So that's probably the next thing that I put in with people is LastPass. I use a password manager called LastPass. So it's a piece of software that encrypts and stores all your passwords and usernames and the links to the website and stuff like that. For me personally, because that's what I do most of the day, is I'm entering passwords or credentials to get into something, to log into something, to fix or change something. For me, I calculated once that it saves me at least 2 hours a week, just typing passwords. So anyway, LastPass is probably the next thing. So people capture all the passwords we need. So the Telstra, the phone account, the domain account, your email, main admin email account to get into that, your admin for your website. Just get all of those things and get them under control. They're your data. You need to know how to be able to get at them if you want to change them. So next thing is probably updates. So all the computers, where are they at with updates? Do they have all different versions of Windows? Are you using Mac? God forbid. Anything like that, make sure you get it as up to date as you possibly can, because it'll make a little bit more sense in a minute. I'll talk a little bit more about malware and ransomware and how it gets in. But it's not like the old days where one of the things that I hear a lot is every time I do an update it breaks. Yeah, or it breaks something that I've been using for years, or yeah. Well, it's not so much like that now. The other thing is the reason it probably breaks is because you haven't updated for 2 years, and when you try to update, there's 300 updates to install. I guarantee when you try to do that, you'll crash it. It'll take you half a day to get everything up and running and all the updates in and installed. So update it regularly. Microsoft, that's probably the biggest source of it. 80 to 90% of the systems in the world are running Windows. So Microsoft releases patches for their system every Tuesday, the first Tuesday of every month. They call it Patch Tuesday, and they're just changing that a little bit. Lately they used to release a whole stack of individual patches, now they're releasing it all as sort of one big roll up each Tuesday. Very important, once a month, do the updates. Yeah. So that's the next thing we do, is get the computers as up to date as we can. And that's usually probably the biggest struggle, because if it hasn't been updated for a year or two, there might be things that break. A banking system that relies on Java or Flash or something like that that breaks. Get all of that running. The next thing then is if we're looking at a move to the cloud. So how are we going for time, Steve?
Still got 8 minutes to speak.
All right.
And that'll give you 10 minutes questions.
10 minutes questions. Okay, cool. All right. In that case, if you're looking to move to the cloud, generally the first thing. So, what is the cloud? Fundamentally, the cloud is just the services that you use internally. Email. Your email, by definition, is in the majority of cases probably already in the cloud. You're already using a service like Gmail or BigPondMail or your own service that you've set up along with your website that has mail addresses. So that's in the cloud because it's not a server on site. The other thing that generally people want to do is they want more mobility. So you want to get the office files while you're on the road. Yeah, you want your sales guy to be able to pull up the latest contract and do that sort of thing. That's moving, in most cases, that means moving your files to the cloud. That's a bit more of a challenge. The email we've been working in the cloud for a while, and that's just, if you haven't got it in the cloud, it's just migrating your emails across, and we can do that reasonably easily. Moving your files is a whole different thing. It depends on what you have as far as files. A lot of businesses, some businesses have hundreds of gigabytes of files. Cloud-based file systems are generally not meant to work like a file server on your premise, where you've got folder structures that go down 10 layers deep, where you have customer name and site and job and date, system and blah, blah, blah. They're meant to work in a slightly different way. So there's a whole, and I won't go into the details on that, but it's pretty much a new way of working to get full benefit. You can just take all your files, dump them on the cloud, and away you go, and work like we have worked with file systems for the last 20 years or more. But if you grab or embrace the new way of working with the files on the cloud, there's a whole stack of benefits in terms of being able to find files and search for stuff and easily grab and link stuff and all those sorts of things. But anyway, so that's the file systems. So that's if you're moving to the cloud. So we've inventoried your hardware, we've updated or inventory all your gear that you've got, and that includes not just your computers, it might include your websites and stuff. We've updated everything we can, got it up to date as we can. Maybe a little bit of security software, we've managed your passwords. So hopefully we've got the system with the basics of a reasonably secure system. Why do we need that nowadays? Well, the incidences of ransomware attacks, and I'll explain ransomware and malware and phishing and spear phishing and blah, blah, blah in a second if I can. The incidence of ransomware attacks increased 4 times in 2016, and it's expected to double. So we're right on the exponential growth curve for ransomware. It's like when spam really hit us hard. Everybody grabbed email, loved it, and everybody, all the guys out there figured that they could sell Viagra and Cialis or whatever the hell it is, and all that sort of stuff by sending out millions of emails at once, and if 1% of those people, or 0.1% answer, you actually, for sending out 1 million emails, which costs you almost nothing, you make some money. Similar to that is where we're at now. It's a time with ransomware and malware. As people are moving to the cloud and relying on cloud or browser-based services and stuff, and relying on their computers more, the criminals have figured out that if we can grab this data and somehow make it, either grab it, take it away and sell it on the dark web, the so-called dark web, which does exist. So credit cards sell for, I think, $2 or $3 credit card numbers with CVV or CVC or whatever you call it. You can jump on the dark web and go and buy 100 credit card numbers, and even some of them even come with a warranty. If it doesn't work, we'll give you a new one. Believe it or not, I sat through a talk with one of the local police, cyber police guys, and yeah, credit cards with a warranty. So, take this data and either sell it, so that's one side, that's the data breaches, all the big things, the Sony stuff and all that you hear about, where they grab, like I said, the numbers that are gold. So you grab tax file numbers, you can start to get into identity theft, sell tax file numbers online, got 100,000 tax file numbers, you can have them for $10,000, that sort of thing. Ransomware is software gets installed or downloaded by mistake onto your computer and installed and run, and it encrypts all of your data. So it's smart enough to figure out where you've got your data stored, normally my documents on your desktop or whatever. It'll start encrypting that first on your server, whatever your most recently accessed files are, it'll head straight there and start encrypting that. It will disable certain types of backups that you have, and then it'll put a splash screen up on your page that says your data has been encrypted. Please pay us 3 Bitcoins. Bitcoin's about somewhere between $300 to $500, untraceable. So a personal user, it might be the number, usually around $300 to $500 to get your data back if you don't have a backup, because if you don't have a backup, it's gone. If you don't have a backup that's off-site or separate or somehow encrypted that this thing couldn't get it. If you can get it your backup, if it's just a file copy, and if you make a mistake now, and your way of getting into backup is you just open Windows Explorer and go across there, forget about it, it's not a backup, ransomware's got it, it's gone. They'll take this, they'll encrypt it, you pay them the money. They are reasonably well known for actually delivering. They will deliver you an encryption key, and you will unencrypt it, you've got your data back. The first thing you do, if you're actually forced to do that, first thing you do is you should have a backup. You should restore from the backup, wipe your computer, and away you go. If you don't have that, you're going to have to pay to get your data back if it's that critical to you. The first thing you do is once you get your data back, you wipe your computer and you put your data back on, scan it, make sure it's all clean. Especially in business, I'm not one for trusting, you clean a malware or you clean a ransomware off. The only way to clean something off is to wipe it completely. That's just my opinion. Because the problem is, if you paid up once, pretty good chance you'll pay up again. So they'll hit you again. You're dealing with criminal organisations. There is no morals here associated with these guys. They're not just, they're no longer hackers in the basement. They're no longer teenagers sitting in a basement board. These are criminal organisations with turnovers approaching $100, $200, $300 million per annum. You're not dealing with under-resourced guys. These are quite smart programmers that are trying to fool your systems. They'll get around even the best antivirus software on your computer. So that's ransomware. Malware is basically the same sort of thing.
And to add pressure, there's usually a 3-4 week time limit.
Yes, that's to add some urgency to it. Yeah, exactly. You've got that amount of time, otherwise they just kill your data. It's lost.
Did you see that in the last week or so? I thought it was an amazing thing there where on TV there were these hacking fellows. All they need is your mobile number, and from that they're getting into who you are and bank account numbers and whatever. It's quite frightening when I've seen that. Did you see that? There's stories about that sort of stuff all the time, and there's some of it. There's a bit of alarmist approach to it. Look, it's if you really believe absolutely everything, you'd probably shut down your computer and say forget about it. But the fact of the matter is, it just requires that it's come to the time or the point in time where you need to pay attention to what's happening to your computer, and no longer to the point of say, I don't understand that, I just deal with it, I just use it, or if your folder's scrunched up and you can't find your email, really go and get some computer training. You need to understand your computer just a little bit more and understand what you're dealing with. Emails, for example, but probably the biggest tip I can give you is read and look carefully at the emails before you double click. So if you're one of these coffee-driven guys that flicks around and clicks and opens this and clicks that, be careful, you'll get caught. You're the first one that's going to get a ransomware. So what will happen is an ATO thing comes in, ATO, I've got something about ATO, click, double click, run this, it tells me to run that, I don't know what I'm doing, I'll just run that because I need to do that to view it. You're right, that's it, you're gone. Just take a little bit of care. Probably the biggest tip, I say to a lot of people, we're very precious with our email. If you don't know who it's from, delete it. Yeah, that scares a lot of people, and it depends on what you're in. If you're in a customer-facing job where you're getting stuff like that all the time and emails coming in, but you can see what they are. But usually the hallmarks of what this is, so it's a phishing attack or a spear phishing. Spear phishing. Phishing attack is where they send something in and try to get you to respond to it, basically phishing. Yeah? Spear phishing is where it's targeted. So I send an email as a criminal to Gary, because I know Gary's on there, he's on his website, to Gary and I say, Gary, you need to open this now, because it's really important. And that's all it says. Important document. Open now, nothing else in the body of the email, and it's a Word document. Yep. Double click. You need a viewer to open this? No. Crap, you need a viewer. It's Word. You've got Word on your computer. Yeah? Need a viewer, install the viewer, that's it, you're gone. So anything that asks you if it's an attachment, number one, be suspicious of it. Yeah? So not plain emails won't get you. It's an attachment. It's that plain email generally will not get you. It's an attachment and you have to open it and you have to do something to run a program. It's like running Excel or Word or your browser. You have to double click and run something. Just think before you do that and know what you're doing. Know that something's trying to install something on your computer. If you do that, you'll save yourself 80 to 90% of the heartache. So that's the other thing. Probably to wrap this up and get into some questions. Was that my thing before?
I was too interested to worry about questions.
Probably tip number one is that, and I've lost my train of thought there.
When you open emails, just to read them.
Yeah, just to read them first and have a look and see what's there. And really, if you don't, you're not going to get anything for free. If it says we're giving something away for free, come on guys. Yeah, just delete it. So you can, the next level, and what I do with business customers and stuff like that, that's probably more a home user, small business, really micro business type advice. With home business, with smaller businesses, we move to a business class email. This is what they mean by business class email system. So Office 365 or what they call G Suite, which is Google for business, basically Gmail for business. One of those, migrating across to one of those, they have much better filtering, much better control of the emails that come in. So if your inbox is overflowing with spam, my suggestion is move to one of them. The cheapest one is G Suite, it's Gmail, more expensive, but it comes with everything else is your Office 365. Move to that and your spam will just basically disappear, and then it can be fine-tuned after that. So.
You reckon that would have been a hacking thing that probably happened to Honda with the
No, that was criminal activity based on bloody follow the leader. With Honda,
replaced 400,000 airbags and cars or something, and then they come back and replace them, and they got the same problem.
Yeah.
You reckon that somebody must have hacked into something there?
Yeah, no, I don't know. That we can extend all of that stuff and give it more credence than it's worth. But I think that's probably more along the beat up.
So now they've got to call all the cars back and put them back in.
The other thing, something that just to finish off on the security side of things and the cloud and the move to the cloud, it makes it sound a bit scary actually to move to the cloud, but it is actually one of the best things you can do if done well for the business. The next thing that everybody's talking about with security, rather than trying to remember this stack of complex passwords, and that is multi-factor, and this leads a little bit into Earl's question there before. Multi-factor is where you type a password in, and then it asks you for a second factor for authentication. Now, you do it with bank all the time, your PIN number and stuff like that. You log on, away you go, PIN number, and they text you code. Same thing, there's various ways they can text to your phone. You can have an app that brings up a random number, and you can have multiple services. You can have your bank, and you can have this login and that login and all of that, and they can all be turned on to multi-factor. It's becoming much more common now. I think it's only probably the last 12 months, but I think nearly every service that I use, certainly every service that's critical, I use multi-factor with. So you need more than one password. Then your password doesn't have to be quite as complex and that stupid thing that you can't remember. Still different is good, but multi-factor. And you can also set up multi-factor properly so that when you're in your business or in your normal place of work, it doesn't ask you for it. So if you're a bit concerned about it, you've already done all the stuff that I'm talking about, my next suggestion would be look into the critical services that you've got and where you can add multi-factor to them.
So that gives us enough time for about 2 questions.
Yes, sir.
Like in security, we've got to be police checked and everything like that.
Do we? No. No. Still a bit of a wild west. I can go and practice IT without, I have no formal IT qualifications. I have a degree in electronics engineering, which probably is equivalent, but no, I have no formal IT qualifications. I registered a business name when I started up. So, and the amount of information that I have access to. So I sign confidentiality agreements with my customers, especially with the accounting practices and the healthcare providers. But yeah, fundamentally, the amount of data that I have access to, I would think that it would be a good thing. I have had a police check done for a separate reason, and I'm fine, but yeah.
That's good.
According to me. Yeah, so, but no, that's a really good question. It should be more, that, because you can get cowboys in this industry. There's nothing stopping. There's no, you don't need qualifications like an accountant does to say that it's an accountant. Yeah.
The trouble is, or maybe the only good thing is that you're a known person. When it's cybercrime, you haven't got a clue who it is or where they are.
No, that's exactly right. And that's what I find is my... So I was talking to Steve before, a little bit like what Carolyn does. I'm the personal concierge for your IT, basically, not for your home IT, just because it's... to be frank, you can't afford it. Yeah, for your home IT. By the time I've spent 2 to 3 hours, you might as well go and buy a new computer. For small business, it's managing everything for you so that it makes everything work together, so that you know how everything works. To be able to do that, there's got to be a level of trust there. So all of the businesses that I work with, I'm the trusted IT advisor. So they'll come and say, hey, look, I think I want to do this, I'd like to do this. This is where my business is going. So I sit in on strategy sessions with them, if they're big enough business, and we talk about what they're going to do in the future and what they would need from the technology side of things to support that and to make that as smooth as possible.
And on that note,
Okay. As a fellow nerd, I can lose myself in hours or just reading latest updates and tech information. This is so fascinating.
Yeah.
How do you keep abreast of a little bit of this industry?
You've got to narrow it down, and that's it's a bit of a running joke with Tony about no websites.
Yeah.
You really have to focus in this industry. So mine is small business. If it's something talking about an enterprise thing, because you can handle all different things with enterprise, generally various newsletter memberships, CRM is one of them, and the provider, the managed service provider, so the software that I use. So I don't go to a computer and install an update and sit there and wait for it to do it and all that stuff. I have a dashboard that manages that automatically. So I spend most of my time figuring out how I'm going to update 100 computers at once as opposed to doing one. They send a lot of information, so you sit and listen. But it's got to be targeted. It's got to be around small business and how small business use stuff. Otherwise, there's no way you keep up. It's impossible.
thank you very much.
Thank you.